This is Valley of Tears from MMP Games. It's part of the Battalion Combat Series. We're looking at the situation on the Sinai and the Golan fronts at the end of day 8. Right. Most important stuff that's happened on the Sinai is the Israelis managed with a double activation to punch their way through to the canal. There was fanatical Egyptian resistance who pushed them away from the canal, but not totally. And there's still an exposed bridge at it there that has put the cat amongst the pigeons, to say the least, for the Egyptians. A lot of Egyptian unit went over to prepared defence, which is something that should really have been in the first place, because it allows them to use their saggers effectively. I was doing the sagger rule wrong. I was allowing saggers to act as support when they weren't in prepared defence. So that's been negative on the Israelis, but and given the Egyptians a bit of advantage for 2 goes, but well, 2 goes, I'd say 4 goes to be quite honest, but they certainly lost that advantage now. Situation so bad that the Port Said command is retreating back across the canal and moving forces to try and bolster the positions here for the 18th Infantry, allowing them to slide over and try and cut this bridge off before the Israelis get there with any reasonable amount of equipment. We've got the other Israeli breakthrough around this area where the Egyptians actually have got a reasonable amount of strategic reserve. They had a whole armoured division which they've got across the canal and in a position to fight what is going to probably be quite a big tank battle around the Chinese farm area. Egyptians have also, because of all the chaos, have moved their only other remaining strategic reserve unit that's on the map, which is the 6th Mechanised, which they are moving towards the potential breakthrough near the bridges which I've described here. Now the Egyptians have got more strategic reserves, but they only come into effect when the Israelis cross the canal, and also if you mobilise those super strategic reserves, you start losing victory points. If we go over to the Third Army positions, things are pretty stable here. Most of the enemy units, the Egyptian units are in prepared defences here. You'll probably find that Israel are going to drag off more units from this area. These should be attacking down the Chinese farm area. So all in all, it's not looking very good for the Egyptians. Things are creaking, and considering this wasn't really an area the Israelis were going to attack, it's got pretty bad very quickly. Now the thing is, the Israelis, I don't know, they've got a big choice now whether to concentrate on this front, because basically the problem with this front is it's huge. It's like a 100-mile long front, and it's very difficult to defend that with the Egyptians had 5, 6, 7 divisions plus about 5 brigades in support. That's a lot of ground to defend. And it's sort of going it's going a bit pear-shaped for them at the moment. If we go on to the Golan front was where the Israeli main offensive for this turn took place, but they've done some carnage. They've really cut up certain divisions badly, but the point is there's a lot of units around here, and there's a lot of defensible terrain, particularly along this line here where you see all these rough terrain hexes and some mountains. I believe there's even mountains in this area, these dark ones here. Now you've also got the fact there's the anti-tank ditch as well. Added to this is the fact that the Syrians have got allied units appearing to help them out. There's a Jordanian division, armoured division here, and there's an Iraqi armoured division there, which is a powerful unit. And they've also, well, they sort of did have a strategic reserve here, which was the 5th Tank Division, but that's gradually got dragged into the fight. Israelis, they had a lot of air force, but too much air force, you weren't able to use it effectively. So the Israelis are going to have to think a lot more about how they deploy their air force for this next coming day. You really got to decide whether to switch over to the Sinai and then sort of let the Golan be like a slugfest over these important defensive positions. As soon as the Israelis cross the purple line as well, which is this demilitarized zone, well, it was the ceasefire line from the 67 war, the sort of Syrians have also got like a strategic reserve which they can bring in as well. Like I've got a super strategic reserve, totally uncommitted, and it's not very big, but yeah, again, that costs some victory points. In terms of victory points, the Syrians have got their victory points for the Golan in the first few days, but they're gradually losing all these positions that they've captured. They actually only hold, 4 victory point positions now. They had 8 at one point. So they are gradually getting pushed back, but they're certainly getting worn down by the Israeli army and its air force. So I'd say the situation on the Golan, it looks okay for the Arabs. It looks like there's going to be a lot of hard work for the Israelis to make any significant breakthrough. As I say, they've got to clear these defensive positions, get across the anti-tank ditch, and then things will open up for them. So all in all, the Arabs are still in this. It's starting to look a bit dodgy for them in places.